Joining us now. Hey, business is picked up.
Yeah.
Okay? Not often in the middle of Indianapolis, Indiana, do you get a chance to get somebody that is maybe a conversation piece from everybody across the country in studio. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, All-Pro, Pro Bowler, new quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, Carson Wentz.
Yeah!
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Carson, thank you for coming in. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great. By the way, you're also talked about all across the country too. So.
Yeah, not for good reasons. It's not for my athleticism or anything like that. It's for saying dumb things into a microphone, but I do appreciate that.
Yep.
First question here as we get started. How happy are you to be an Indianapolis Colt right now? When you were stepping off that private plane yesterday with the baby and the wife, in the press conference, it felt as if, and I don't know you that well, we're about to learn a lot about each other here, but it felt like it was like, okay, new chapter, pumped to be here. Is that the right read on this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, I know you played, and just being drafted and everything, there's a level of excitement. And it was kind of similar level of excitement as when you got drafted. It's a new team. It's a new opportunity. Shoot, I got a new number. Y'all have talked about that.
Yeah, we have. Did you hear us talk about that?
I actually did.
I did not like. Now listen, you threw with Michael Pittman, okay, and he's going to be one of your weapons this year, okay. He had big year last year, 1 touchdown, 250 yards or something like that. But him dancing on your grave on TMZ, I was like, okay, all right. But did you expect to get a new number coming to a new place? Is that why it wasn't that big of a deal? Is the number 2?
I was kind of excited about it.
Really?
Honestly, I texted him and I was just like, hey, are you married to the number? He's like, I'm locked in. I'm like, cool. I'm going to change anyway. I've always liked number 2. I wanted number 2. I was 20 in high school. Good old Friday Night Lights. You know, that was me. It was a family number, so obviously you can't be 20. So I wanted 2, but I was stuck with 11 in college and just wrote it out. So now it's a new me.
Hey, now you got the right number. Hey, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. Giovanni, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just learning about him from this entire.
He's awesome.
Awesome.
Yep.
Want to let him know that, hey, I'm a big fan. The boys are a big fan. We know Carson's a big fan.
Yep.
I guess he caught some shit over there in Philadelphia, which is what happens in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
But, Gio, know that we're your guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love Gio. By the way, come to the Colts, Gio.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll send you a camo jacket. When you get drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles, out of North Dakota State or whatever, right?
Yep.
And North Dakota State is a big meeting point now. There's like billion-dollar meetings happening there between Schneider and the Bears and everything like that, obviously, with the way things are popping off with Trey Lance. But when you get drafted to Philadelphia, do you have the feeling like, okay, I'm going to a city that is maybe, and I'm not 100% sure, I've never been to North Dakota, but maybe the most polar opposite place than North Dakota State? Was that ever a thought that you had whenever you got drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Crossed my mind, definitely. I mean, it's a different world out there. The Northeast is a different world. North Dakota is a different world. Everyone just thinks it's a frozen tundra and we live in igloos, which isn't true, by the way. It's a beautiful state.
Okay, beautiful.
Beautiful state.
Beautiful
just don't go in the winter. You'll regret that.
Yeah,
Don't go in the winter.
it is chilly.
Unless you want to go ice fishing. If you want to go ice fishing, I got a lot of buddies. We'll take care of you.
Yeah,
but other than that, it's a beautiful place. But yes, very different world, faster paced, aggressive, all of those things, everything. There's a lot of good and bad about the Northeast, about Philly, and I love the place, I love the area, but nothing.
It's very different.
It's very different.
Yeah, you kind of got baptized, by the way, in fire over there with Philadelphia. I mean,
That's
that's
one way to
what
do it.
we saw your. I guess so. Yeah, throw in the deep end. We'll find out if you swim real quick. But your house just went on the market in New Jersey.
Yep.
Okay, we saw your house. Beautiful house, by the way.
Thank you.
Hey, it went up like, I think 78% or something like that since you bought it. So good real estate investment as well there for you. But we saw the house, okay, and they showed the inside of the house and everything like that. And you got the sense that if this dude does come to Indiana, this is going to be like, okay, Frank's here.
Yep.
It seems like just by looking inside your house, Indiana seems like a much more natural fit than maybe Philadelphia or New Jersey. When you get off that plane and you start talking, you re-talk to Frank, and I'm assuming you're looking at houses with your wife at some point here in the next couple of days because a bag just got dropped into your bank account. You deserve it. Congratulations. But it has to feel as if like, okay, this feels like the right place for me. This feels like a perfect place to kind of restart this whole thing.
100%. It feels like perfect place football-wise. You talked about Frank. You talked about the weapons and the pieces in place. Saw what they were able to do last year, so I'm excited to join that. But from a family standpoint, I got an 11-month-old baby, got a wife.
Congrats.
Thank you. And my wife is actually from Kentucky, so her whole family's like 2.5-hour drive away. So it feels like us. It feels like our culture, our values, and kind of our vibe, so to speak. So we're pretty pumped about it.
Let's talk about Frank a little bit there because you hit on that. Congrats, by the way, on the baby and coming back closer to your wife's family. That's massive. The in-laws, I understand you would like to keep them happy. that is a good move. But let's talk about Frank Reich, because immediately upon learning that there was a chance you were going to be on the move from Philadelphia, all Eagles fans, most NFL fans immediately went, Carson's got to go to Indy, get him back with Frank. It'll be all good or whatever. And after last season, there's a lot of people that are like, is Frank even going to be able to bring Carson all the way back? What is Frank to you? And why is Frank Reich so good? Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he was my quarterback coach, by the way.
I heard yesterday.
Yeah, he was my
He said your ball handling was poor.
Poor!
You'll have to take that up with him.
Poor! It was his coaching.
It wasn't my scouting report, by the way. That's not
Listen,
bad.
see that?
That's not, deal the cards.
Deal the cards. Yeah, deal the cards. That's what you do. Yeah. Man, I had a play action too. We never ran it. But I had a whoo. You know what I mean, Carson? But what is it about Frank? That, I think Frank obviously went to bat pretty heavily. He was like, hey, let's go get him back here. We'll be good. But what is it about Frank and yours relationship you think that you established in Philadelphia that'll be able to carry hopefully into like 10 years here in Indy, maybe even more?
Absolutely. First of all, it's a special relationship off the field. Just the man that he is. Looked up to him. We share the same values, both, faith first type of men and just almost a mentor, like looked up to him. And but from a football standpoint, he understands it from a quarterback's perspective. And anytime you have that, and I had that with Coach Peterson too, like just anyone that understands and has played the position sees the game differently and knows how to maximize their quarterback. You've seen all the quarterbacks he's worked with have had success, and he knows how to put guys in the right position to succeed. And it was awesome working with him for 2 years, and obviously we had a heck of a year in 2017. And
MVP-like run until you got hurt there.
So it was fun, and I look forward to hopefully bringing that out here and kind of progressing the offense a little bit more than what we did then. But he's really good at motivating and getting the most out of his players, and super relatable, and a guy that you respect and want to play for and give everything you have for, which is pretty special.
2017 was a magical year for you guys. And now obviously you get injured there late in the year, but it was a hell of a run for Philadelphia. Then after that, it gets interesting. You, a couple years ago, 2 seasons ago, your entire team was getting hurt every single week. Like it felt like every single person was getting hurt. And then at the end of every single game, it was you literally putting the franchise on your back. It was very cool to see that whole run. Now, I will say, Orlovsky misquoted me, on ESPN. He said that I said that you stunk for a bit that he was doing that year. I did not say that. I want to let you know. That's Orlovsky, classic ESPN lies. Just want to let you know that.
For the record, I don't watch much of it, so it's okay.
Me neither. That's good answer, Carson. But no, and then last year, and you talked about how Doug Peterson also quarterback saw that whole thing. Last year, it felt like there was just something different from the outside. Then, obviously, with the way the league works with sources and leaks and everything like that, what happened was when Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was, fractured beyond repair. Yeah. They said that's what was being said outside. You don't watch a lot of this, and quarterbacks can't watch a lot of this because if not, your whole life would be consumed by it. Sure. But the reports that were coming out about you and Peterson's relationship became drama, reality TV, Real Housewives conversation everywhere. What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion? Yeah. And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. The way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. That had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. The season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We just lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it. As a man, as a player, and all those things. And I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things. Yeah. But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down. But
What do you think happened? What do you think about how you? Because early in the year, there was a lot of us talking about you, by the way, because the year before that, what you were doing with a team that was absolutely littered with injuries. You were putting a team on your back. There was, hey, MVP Carson is back. Like, hey, now they just need to put a team around him and everything like that. Then the beginning of the season happens, last year's season happens, and you look like maybe you were overthinking or maybe trying to do too much. Have you gone back and done any self-scout and evaluation on potentially what went wrong, whether it was physically, mentally, thinking? Like, what do you think if you had to describe what happened last year?
You do that after every year. You go back, okay, where can I, no matter 2017 playing at an MVP level or last year, you're always going back, how can I improve, as any player should. And it was some of all those things. Sometimes it was mechanical. Sometimes it was thinking too much. Sometimes things just didn't go our way, and that's football and that's life. Could I have made better decisions? 100%. I look at every game like I want 3 plays back. I want 20 plays back. That's football.
Yeah.
But you learn from them. You learn from them, and it seemed like it just kept spiraling for us, and it wasn't going our way. And kept spiraling out of control, and next thing you know, I was on the bench, not where I wanted to be, but hey, I learned from it. I gave everything I had for that city for 5 years, and I'm excited for a fresh start.
You were very diligent with the mask on the sideline. We appreciated that. Did we
Truly.
not?
Oh, yeah, big time.
We talked about that.
Big
You were
talking
very-
point.
Takes all of us.
because there was a lot of guys that on the side, as soon as they get side, they didn't even care.
Nope.
You were very diligent with that. There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you'd die. With your eyes.
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course they're gonna play this one up. They're gonna make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Now, whenever the season ends, everybody automatically assumes that you are not going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. Now, massive contract was signed, a year before that, year and a half before that. And that automatically leads to the question like, okay, if he signs that massive contract and he's available, what's going on? Now, whenever you were talking to Howie or to anybody in that building about what your future looked like, were they the ones that said like, hey, we're going to go ahead and move on from this thing? Or how did that whole conversation happen?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff, a lot of conversations that I don't fully know that took place.
Okay, so you
for
do.
me, this season obviously was not how I envisioned, and I'm like, I'm getting away. Like I went hunting, I got away.
Did you get anything?
Shot a lot of ducks.
Okay.
Out there on the pond.
Oh yeah. There you go. Appreciate that. Watch out now. Watch out now.
You got a good call?
Yeah, I can call a little bit.
Where's it?
Don't do it to me here. Don't.
Well,
they're
what
gonna
I'm saying
fucking
is, hey! We have this in here
You'll
because
shoot
of
your
you.
eye out, kid. Be careful.
Hey, good reference. Look at you. Don't live under a fucking rock. You're saying that a lot of those conversations you chose to remain out of.
For a little bit, absolutely. I mean, my agent took care of a lot. Obviously, everyone's frustrated. Everyone's frustrated how it went down, and I could say it 100 times. It just didn't go the way we wanted. And I said it yesterday in my press conference. When I got benched in Green Bay, was the first time I'm like, this might not be it. This might not be it. So I let my agent kind of play it out and talk it out. So I'm not going to dive into the details of all that, but I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And the community seems amazing. The fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
Now, high expectations here, obviously,
100%.
because there's a lot of winning, and the nucleus of the team is very good. And that's why whenever you were potentially available, did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially –
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it. Yeah. Okay, so let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No,
And you can
Whoa.
change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change
No,
your opinion.
at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. With the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment.
That's right.
Okay? And at the moment, whenever you were allegedly going on to the trade block, at that same exact time, Matthew Stafford was available. Aaron Rodgers was also going to be traded. And at that point, since you did not come out and say, like, yo, I am not telling Doug Peterson I hate him with my eyes and I hope he dies with my eyes, and there's this fractured beyond repair, this whole thing. I'm like, are we sure that just because Frank knows Carson that they're going to be able to get Carson back to what he was at? So I want to let you know, when you you probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
You can backtrack a little.
No,
It's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were. Oh, yeah. That was one of the first things I said when you were much bigger than I thought you were going to be. And I'm happy to be at the state that I think all Colts fans are right now, where after hearing you speak yesterday, watch the press conference. And my big thing was I thought you were potentially gone mentally. I thought you maybe lost the love for football, maybe lost the competitiveness. Like I thought you potentially checked out, which guys do, by the way. A lot of guys have. And then I watched that yesterday, and it seemed like you were I don't want to say it's the same as Kyle Long, but when we talked to Kyle Long, it looked like he was like pumped about football again, like at peace about football again.
Yep.
Watching you speak yesterday and everything, it was like, oh, this guy seems to still have it. Like you never thought like, oh, football isn't for me. Like there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have
that's
those moments.
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can until I'm no longer able. So
Do you know this offense already? Is this an offense that you have already run? Because everybody's like Frank,
yeah,
Carson, they'll be able to just do the same. Is it the same offense
so I
here?
just was given the playbook yesterday, so I don't have it down yet.
Oh my God, this guy
Carson,
stinks.
what are we
I know,
doing?
you might think I'm smart. I'm not that smart.
North Dakota. You went to the Harvard of
but-
North Dakota, though.
That's right.
You did go to the Harvard of North Dakota, which is good. That's good news. That's good
It's
news.
messed up. But it seems very similar. Seems like a very similar system, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, like I said, when Phillips the quarterback, it looks a little different. When Jacoby was, when Andrew was, like it looks a little different based upon who's pulling the trigger, so to speak. So I know there'll be a lot of overlap for what I was doing in Philly and what Frank and I were doing back in 16, 17.
First thoughts when you're chatting with that Southern draw, Chris Ballard?
I mean, straight shooter.
He
Seems
really
like a
is.
straight shooter, and I love that. I mean, he seems like a great guy, great family, all of those things, but he'll shoot you straight. And that, to me, in this business, honesty is everything.
Did you get a chance to, during the season, you said you saw what Phillip Rivers was doing and everything like that. Did you know what was going on in Indianapolis? Or is that after the season ends, you kind of like check in on either Frank or whatever? Or was there a thought with you and your agent, like, you know, maybe Indy would be a cool destination? Like, did that happen as the season unfolded or as it ended?
For sure, like I said, once Green Bay happened, and all of a sudden I'm watching games from the sideline, all those, you have a million thoughts. You can't control them. And you're like, hey, maybe there, or maybe I'm going to be here. We're going to work it out. All those things go through your mind. But I'll tell you today, where I'm at with Frank within this organization, I'm excited about it. And I think I said it before, I think it's a perfect fit.
Hey, you're not. It seems like you're not just like a broken man. I thought you were a broken man last year. Carson, I'm serious. Because you were just this guy from North Dakota State, okay, who the year before you were running through people. I mean, you were making these throws that were just absurd. And then it seemed like something had happened, and it was like, oh, the guy lost, like he just lost it, which happens. And I think normally it's a lack of interest, or maybe things change off the field, or maybe you're thinking about not getting hurt, whatever it is. I thought that was the case. And then as I listen to you speak here and the whole thing, man, it is awesome to hear that you're ready to go win a Super Bowl for us next year. Okay, that's good news.
Yeah.
Connor, what do you have?
Yeah, Carson, you mentioned hunting. Have you been able to scout out a couple areas here in Indiana where you're going to be? Also, what are you shooting? And is Mike Trout going to come out here soon? Maybe play for the Colts.
I'd love for Mike to come out here for starters, but built a couple conversations, a couple connections. Haven't been out here long enough to go to the woods yet.
Fair.
Turkey season is in a couple weeks though, so
Okay.
we'll be back.
Oh,
I
you
think it's in a month.
gobble out here.
I think it's in a month. Yeah, so we'll be back for that. But yeah, we're scouting it out, and I know there's big deer. There's big deer around here, so we're pretty excited about that.
You seem like such a, you know.
Such a what?
Well, I mean,
Where are we
looked at-
going here?
We looked at your Instagram. My batteries died, by the way. I couldn't hear a lot that you said there, but it was a good answer. Got a good pop out of everybody, so congrats on that. But we looked at your Instagram. Like, you love the outdoors, huh?
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
You're promoting something other than John Deere. What's that all about?
Well,
Bobcat.
What's that all about? I thought we were a John Deere team over here.
Well, I don't know. Are you? I'm a Bobcat team.
Nothing runs like a deer, dude.
Come
You
on.
know that better
Have you
than
had
most.
a Bobcat though?
I can't.
What?
I can't. I'm a deer guy.
What do you got? A Samsung too phone?
Used to. Don't worry. I'm straight now. We're good.
Now you got an iPhone?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Let's go. Coming
I
up.
was a Samsung guy in college, but I turned.
Okay, so what is it? Yeah, thank God. By the way, I don't think there's a lot of blue conversations happening in North Dakota State, by the way. So at that point, it's green everywhere. It doesn't really matter. But Carson, since you've become a Colt here, since it has been announced, and you weren't allowed to talk about it for, a couple weeks or whatever because the league makes it that way, what has it been like getting, I don't want to say baptized, but kind of dropped into the Colts world? What have you been, what do you try to learn about? What do you try to teammates? I heard you reach out to your teammates. Like, what are the first steps here for you becoming, the leader of this team, which is what the quarterback is regardless?
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to reach out to a handful of teammates, and I'm hoping we get some form of off-season time together. We'll see what happens. But
Did that affect you last year in Philly?
I think it affected all of us on a relational side.
Couldn't eat lunch together.
Building relationship, building chemistry. I mean, you played the locker room and
Huge.
the cafeteria. That's where half the fun happens, and all those things were restricted and limited. So I look forward to just really building relationships with my teammates on and off the field. I already was able to go out to eat with Jack Doyle and Ryan Kelly.
Hey, you're gonna love that.
It seemed like awesome guys.
He started out as my tackle on a punt team, by the way. No big deal.
He was yours. He was your time.
Yeah, and then once he started fucking like getting in and everything like that, and he had long drives, and then we'd have to punt, he would like be dead tired and be like, "Hey, I need you to get this one off quick." I'm like, Jack, let's not forget where we came from. You know what I mean? But you're gonna love Jack Doyle. I'm sorry.
For sure.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Though.
But no, just getting to know my teammates, obviously finding a place to live out here, and my wife and I love good restaurants, so checking out any recommendations there. We're open.
Everything is here.
Okay.
There is every restaurant. Indianapolis is actually like a test ground for a lot of restaurants. That's a true story.
Perfect.
So you're going to see a lot of things here. Great city. You're going to love it. They're going to love you. If you win, they'll love you more. But they're definitely going to love you. When you mention about that whole, because we talked about it last year with the COVID protocols, not being able to eat lunch together. Like that 30 minutes. Most guys have 30, 35 minutes where offense, defense, special, everybody is in there just kind of away from everything. You're not looking at film. That is a very pivotal point
100%.
of the team. Like that is a mess. The day after losses in there, very important. The day after wins in there, very important. It's a part of building the team. Do you think, because you guys weren't able to do that, there was a chance that there was some maybe narratives that were getting lost, like game of telephone potentially within the team?
I mean, there could have been.
You didn't feel that though. You didn't feel any awkwardness over there.
I didn't feel that, but I do think, like I said, just the relational side of things. We had a young team. At least I felt like we had a young team. A lot of new faces in Philly, and when you can't, get together much off the field, you can't in the building. All of those things during OTAs. You got 4 or 6 hour days, and then you're hanging out usually the rest of the day. When you can't have those relationships, and then you go to battle with guys, like it's just not the same.
What are your feelings on Nick Foles? Do you hate Nick Foles?
I love Nick.
You do love Nick.
I love Nick.
So you could have came out and said that like a year and a half ago too.
I could have probably said a lot of things. Just be more stuff to write about.
It would be good for us.
Yeah.
Hey Carson, if you could start living your life, which was good for us,
just for
that'd be
you guys.
great. Yeah, we'd be fantastic.
Evidently, you thought I'm just some broken man that lives in a closet.
Yeah. Well, at least under a rock for at least a bit. Which, by the way, not a broken man. That's good news. But you did have a Samsung phone until you're 21 or 22, which is very interesting. But Nick Foles, that whole situation there, I would assume he's potentially a guy you lean on now, right? As a guy who, he almost retired. He went out into the woods, did this whole thing, and then he came back, had like a resurgence or whatever. Is there any chance you talk to him about maybe the other side of a bad year or bad thoughts or anything like that? Or
I haven't yet, but Nick and I still keep in touch. We're great friends. I know his family well. So a lot of respect, and it's a mutual friendship. Everyone would have just assumed naturally we must not like each other. All those things, it's just the narrative. It's the narrative. And you're right. Maybe I could have come out and said I love Nick Foles, but I did, for the record. Anytime I was asked about him by our Philly media or anybody, I said, no doubt about it.
Those things didn't get out of Philly, though. That's on us.
That's not a cool storyline.
At all.
Exactly.
Guy's got a statue. You hate him. That's the whole. Man, that was so much fun when we were talking like that.
good storyline.
Why are you doing? You're ruining all the like good stuff we talked about for a long, long time.
At least you had fun doing it.
Hey, not at your expense. I want to tell you, we were with you. We were having fun.
yeah.
Ty, what do you got?
Carson, first and foremost, how does your body feel? Because I feel like a lot of the things people were saying was your MVP year after you got hurt. It's like, oh, he hasn't been the same since, and you obviously took a lot of hits last year. Like, have you considered like, oh, maybe like I need to do this a little bit more differently now that I'm getting older? And
Yeah, we had this with Luck. He's
beaten up.
alluding to the Luck syndrome
Yeah.
potentially.
Body feels good, honestly. Obviously, I had a couple injuries there in 17 and 18, so ending the season, I didn't play for 4 games, so I was as fresh as I've been ever. So body feels really good, in a good place. And ever since 2018, those back-to-back injuries, I've definitely I've changed my diet. I've done a lot of things differently, work with some people more frequently off the field and all of that stuff. So I do everything I can to take care of it, and it feels pretty good.
Yeah, you look shredded. You look like you're pretty good. What
I just hit the gym over there.
Well, you're the first one. You're the first one to use those in some time. But thanks for getting the dust off of those plates over there. But what is the diet? Do you think that's potentially something that affected how you played football? Or are we going back to maybe eating terribly?
No. I mean, it's gluten and dairy free for the most part.
Unless you do keto type thing.
Nah, I mean, I still eat. I guess I don't fully know what keto is. Full disclosure.
Well, that's because you live under a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
So, by the way, good news. I'm happy.
Yeah.
That is where I would like my starting quarterback to live, is under a rock and not have a clue what's going on. But you're gluten and dairy free?
For the most part, yeah. But in the off season, we'll have a little bit here and there.
So I think Aaron talked about him doing
Yeah,
that as
dairy.
well. Aaron Rodgers told us about how he started doing that, and he said the people in Wisconsin are going to hate this, but I am dairy-free or whatever. Inflammation goes down. He said recovery, energy, everything like that. How you have felt all those things?
I have for sure. And the first year I did it after 2018, I definitely lost some weight.
That affect you?
But I don't think it affected me. I just didn't.
You didn't like it.
Down to 2. I was definitely lost about 10 or 12 pounds, and I didn't like that.
What are you right now?
45.
Oh, I'm bigger than you still.
What's up? How tall are you?
Don't worry about it. All right, I'm a little rounder too. Please take it easy. I'm trying to get lower. Do you whenever you train, do you train year round? Do you take some time off? What do you do training wise?
I usually would take some time off, but this year I kind of hit it right away.
Get a little chip on the shoulder.
I mean, I actually started boxing a little bit, so that was fun. Fun change. No, we're not gonna box.
No. Have you got an Oculus? No, of course you don't even know what that is. Okay, it's virtual reality. It happens. All right, virtual reality's happening now. They have a boxing game in there that's like real. Like 5 rounds, you're actually boxing a fake person.
Can you do it like online? Like, could I box you?
Yeah, they haven't had
across the country.
They haven't figured out the physics.
I'll call them.
I'll let you know, Carson. Hey, I'll let you know, pal. This overhand right is a problem. But you started boxing. You said that's
started
incredible
boxing for cardio and just my core and everything, and it's been fun. And obviously now we're in March, so I've been doing pretty much everything now. So
will you ride on a Peloton and have 5 guys write notes around it while you do it?
You should.
You should.
That'd be sweet.
do you guys know anyone that does that?
Well,
Yeah, so you just set yourself up. This guy hates Russell Wilson. Wow. This guy just
my
said
God.
terrible things about Russell Wilson.
It's gonna be a story now.
Hey.
My wife has a Peloton and loves it, but I don't use it.
I want to let you know on Monday we are leading off with, did you hear what Carson said?
he hates Russell.
We are joined by Carson Wentz here. We appreciate your time immensely. Expectations, goals every time going into a year. I'd assume you write those out, have those visual somewhere maybe. I don't know how you do it, but going into this season, because you have to have realistic expectations too. You're coming into a team that's a nucleus, a quarterback getting dropped in, the most important part. What are some realistic goals that you have going into next year? And have you and Frank really sat down and done any of that yet?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, we want to be playing into January. I mean, it's a simple goal. Would love to. The first goal is to win the division. That's always the goal, and then see what happens. Get into January and see what happens. But they're very, as you know, Ballard, Frank. I mean, they're very process oriented around there, and
1% better every day.
yeah, absolutely 1%, and then every day that just adds up.
100 days. Think about it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Think about who you're going to be in 100 days from now.
Is that possible?
You're going to be 100% better. I can't wait for it.
But they're very process oriented, which I love. Honestly, I love that because you get fixated on the result all the time, and next thing you know, one thing goes wrong and all hell's breaking loose. So I'm excited that that's the culture that's in place. But yeah, those are the goals.
Did you think when you walked into this studio that numerous people would be wearing camo and you wouldn't be one of them?
I did not, but that's a sharp jacket.
So we did say when I
yeah.
put this on this morning, because the Colts had seen that the Chargers had been sending me a lot of stuff, and shout out to you coming on the show, the quarterback and head coach were on from the Chargers, and Tom Telesco is the guy that got me into the NFL. He's their GM, and they've been sending me a lot of merch. The Colts saw that, and they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. So they started sending me some merch. We did wonder if, since I was wearing this today, they maybe didn't offer it up to you, and maybe we got beef immediately with the Indianapolis Colts and Carson Wentz. So they need to get you one of these, I think.
I think they will. I think.
Hey, by turkey season, we need to get these things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Are you here from here on out? I'm sure you'll take trips to Kentucky and everything like that, but
we're here for a couple weeks, and then we're really waiting to see if we have an off-season program or not before we make any decisions on where we're at and what we're going to be doing. We got, like I said, 11-month-old baby girl, so we got a lot of things to figure out.
Happy birthday to your daughter. It's coming up.
It's coming up.
Congratulations
Big one.
on one trip around the sun, that daughter.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool.
She's not even going to remember her time in Philly. No, she's an Indianapolis Colt. That's right.
She couldn't leave the house this year with COVID. I mean, all she knows is our house out there.
Hey, it's a nice house. Get any offers on that thing?
Yeah.
So you did enjoy whenever we all saw the because that probably helped out with the entire process of selling that thing.
Of course. Did you show it or something?
Oh yeah. Everybody but the world saw your house.
Appreciate that.
It wasn't just us. The whole.
I mean, I wasn't like trying to promote it, but I'm not gonna say no.
You had a lot.
I'm not gonna say no.
Hey, you had a lot of antlers hanging on them walls. Yeah, you've been out there doing that thing. Is that big hobby? Outdoors? Anything outdoor stuff? You fish?
Yeah, I fish a little, but more just hunt, chase deer, turkeys, ducks, geese, all that fun stuff.
And your bobcat, unbelievable. Do you play video
Maybe I'll
games?
have to get you one.
Get a
Maybe you'll
deer,
change.
dude.
I won't use it. I mean, I'm wearing this camo jacket right now because I look incredibly fucking cool, but I would not
Goes
hop
great
in.
with the jorts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I did that.
And
I
the
did.
Air Force One. So
Thank you.
Solid.
Yeah, well,
Solid.
they make me 2 inches taller. I knew you were walking in. What are some hobbies? You play video games? You do anything like that?
No.
Me neither.
I played video games until I got my dog in college, and I said it's time to turn my attention to my dog and training her for hunting and all that stuff. So
You have a dog now?
we have three. We have 3 golden retrievers.
Any of them sniff for COVID?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, dude, get out from under the rock, dude. All right, get out from underneath. Yeah, it's a thing. There's.
I do live under a rock. That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so maybe these journalists and media people are half right every once in a while. You're
Yeah.
not a broken man, but you do live under a rock. The 3 dogs, they all hunt with you, yeah?
Yeah. They're 8, 4, and 2. So they're a lot of fun to have out in the woods and everything.
Man, you got his dogs. Go hunt. Play some football. You are
What else
awesome.
do you need?
Hey, amen. We are very thankful you're here. Sorry about what I said in the moment.
It's okay.
You
I'll
didn't hear it
forgive
either.
you.
I feel like somebody
I'm
did.
a forgiving person. I'll forgive you.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
I forgive you too. I'm a forgiving person. Look at me.
Thank you.
Wow, that's very big of this.
Nobody's ever going to talk about that. Shout out me. Pumped to have you here, man.
Thank you.
I think Indianapolis, I think will be a place that'll rally behind you and be very excited. I hope you're here for another 10 years. I hope you do great things. That team is awesome. You need to put your banner up on the side of the stadium. Are you doing any recruiting? Are they asking you to do any recruiting for anybody?
Not really yet. We'll see what happens. See what they.
Oh, so they said maybe we might need you.
We'll see.
Oh, what's the
Again,
text?
I'm
Is
still,
it
under,
coming
I'm
through
still
green?
under that rock, so anytime they call, I'll
Is the
figure
text?
that out.
Is the text will be blue though, so at least we have a
It'll
chance.
be blue unless someone else has the wrong phone.
They won't.
No.
If they're a free agent, they will not have it. Carson, very thankful you stopped in here, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for clearing some things up.
Absolutely.
Will you ever talk to Doug Peterson again?
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
That's good news. We had Donovan McNabb on here, also in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like.
What do they put in the water?
Well, we asked him about his relationship with T.O. or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most awkward situations I've ever had in an interview. It was when I was like, hey, don't we think it's maybe time, But and he was, no. All right, Connor, you got to quit. I'm happy you said you will. That's great news, I think, for everybody that's Eagles fans, for NFL fans in general, because that was an anomaly of a situation I don't think we've ever seen before. Very thankful you're a Colt man, and thanks for forgiving me for what I said.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, I want to let you know, people say I'm stern but fair.
Stern but fair.
And I am the loudest Colts fan out there. And by loudest, I mean, like, I believe I have the largest microphone. I'm going to bat for you, buddy.
Appreciate that.
Now, if you stink, though,
Hey,
I'll
be
go to
fair.
bat. I'll go
Be
to bat.
fair.
I'll go to bat for you.
All I'm asking is be fair.
Now, Phillip Rivers, first week last week, threw an interception to Joe Dirt down in Jacksonville to lose the game. And it was hard to stay positive. Yeah. It was very hard to stay positive.
start.
It was very hard, but I did. And I'll do the same for you. I think all of Indianapolis will. We're very thankful for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Carson Wentz. Thank you, Carson. Okay, we're going to get to a break. We'll be back on the other side with a reaction to all the terrible things that Carson Wentz just said in the last 35 minutes. Big shout out to you, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You watching March Madness at all? You don't care. College basketball, who cares?
There's a lot going on, but we might turn it on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Training.
You should see his banker right now.
Oh, jeez.
His banker.
Counting bills all
Oh,
day.
yeah. There's March Madness going on. We're raking in coins. Congrats to you. You deserve it. Can't wait to see what you do. Thanks for coming in here. Not a lot of people would have, by the way. So I'm very
Absolutely.
thankful that you came by here.